Well, good afternoon, everyone. I'm Steve, the chaplain of Boys Brigade in Wales and captain of First Swansea Eastside, otherwise known as the Unite Quiz Champions 2020. I hope you've all been taking part in all the different activities. It's been great to see all of you attempting the Bent Nuttall Challenge. I particularly enjoyed the workout this morning as well. And despite what some people might be saying, I did fully attempt that. I found it a lot harder than yesterday's, though my dog did interrupt my attempt at holding the plank. It's been great to see so many of you have a go at the Showstopper Challenge as well. Don't forget, they've got to be in by 9 o'clock tomorrow morning, and your TikTok challenges, they're also at 9 o'clock tomorrow. I'm just disappointed that we won't be able to eat any of those Showstopper cakes this year. Remember to show us you're taking part on social media using the hashtags UniteBB, Cumbrae Camp, and United in Lockdown. Like I said, it's been great to see so many of you being involved. And we're now going to take a look at some of those contributions we've seen on our social media. First of all, it's great to see Evie, the Great BB Bake Off goes to Scarborough. That looks like a yummy cake there from the 5th Scarborough. Staying with the 5th Scarborough, Jake, whose birthday it was yesterday, another shout out for him. He's been taking on the football challenge. The only challenge that he has at the moment is that he's a Liverpool fan, though. He'll soon be Manchester United. Moving on to the 3rd Northampton Girls Brigade. They've been getting crafty with a garden in a glass. That looks beautiful. Really good idea. Moving on to people trying that plank, the 4th Lincoln. They've been getting ready for the day with the morning workout, and they look like they've got a better technique than I had this morning. Somebody else holding that plank is Olivia from the 53rd Manchester. She's getting involved in the sports day. Cumbrae Camp goes Crocodile Rock for the TikTok challenge. I'm looking forward to seeing the whole of that song. That looks very interesting with that crocodile. And finally, a great happy birthday to Unite site team member and health and safety expert, Phil. Phil often celebrates his birthday whilst at Feldon for Unite, and we hope you're enjoying a different sort of day today. Just with regards to other shout-outs, we have got the Tom from the 135th Glasgow, and also we've got 2nd Bath joining us this evening. It's really great to see. If anybody else wants a shout out later on this evening, then do comment on our social media sites using UniteBB, Cumbrae Camp, and United in Lockdown. It's now that time of day where we take a break and spend a bit of time with God during our evening worship, which this evening is going to be led by Des from Alpha Scotland. For those of you who were at Unite last year, you couldn't possibly forget Des. It was amazing to see so many of you come to faith during that camp that we ran out of Bibles, and Des and I had to go on an adventure to find some for all of you. Maybe exploring Jesus is something that you have on your mind this evening. My advice to you would be, don't wait. I waited until I was in my 20s, but I wish it would have come a lot sooner. So if you want more information about doing that after Des's talk, then do email us at boys-brigade.org.uk. Des is going to talk to us tonight about how we can develop ourselves in this time of darkness to come out different, stronger, and be a light in the community. But before we head over to Des, we're joined by an amazingly talented worship band for the song Good, Good Father.
Dead of night and Hey guys, how are you? I am so excited to be able to talk to you about something that I'm really passionate about, Jesus. Isn't it so exciting? It's really gutting though that I can't actually be with you. But this is pretty close. I'm in my living room right now, we've got some camera gear set up. It's pretty much just the same as being with you. Not, it's rubbish, right? But we're gonna have to get by it. So we'll try and make this a bit of fun. I'm gonna cut in some other stuff and we're just gonna be thinking today about having what it means really to have light in the darkness. And I actually think that this is something that's really, really relevant right now for us. Let's just start off, like break out your imagination crayons, think for a wee second. What does it look like to be walking down a corridor in pitch black? There's maybe just light coming from one end through a door. You guys maybe remember this place called school? I don't know if you do, but they have long corridors. It's kind of like that, right? But light just leaking in through one window. And it fills all the space, doesn't it? Maybe only little bits, but it goes for so far, so long. And that's what we are. When you get filled with the Holy Spirit, when you become Jesus' follower, your life's turned around and suddenly you're filled with this light. And when you're in darkness, you exude this light to everything around you. Much like one of these lights. I don't know if you can see this on the camera, right? But we've got these LED lights. When you turn them up, they're super, super bright. They make me look all nice. See, check the beard, we're all good. We're good. You okay? When we do that, it lightens up everything. My whole living room is lit up right now because of two little lights. But what does that look like for us? And it's like a really cool metaphor, like a really cool picture to help us try and understand that God, when He's inside us, creates this ripple effect around us. And the thing that I'm really struggling with right now is that I can't get out of my house. I can't let that ripple effect go through all the things I do. So I speak lots of times at loads of different churches. Like I was speaking at Unite camp last year. Unite, 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 unite. So good. Loved it. And it was amazing to be with all you guys and we had loads of fun and we played games and we hung out. Like I'm somebody who loves doing that. But when I'm in that space, I try to show whoever's around what it means to me to follow Jesus. What it means for me to be light in that dark place. Not that Unite was a dark place. Not that Feldon's a dark place, but it's just not as good as Scotland. Let's face it guys, you know that. Cumbrae Camp, you're with me on this. Scotland's just better, right? Well, there's actually no one here, I'm speaking to a camera. So I'm just going to assume that we're all agreeing. But the thing for me is that when we step out of everything that we do, we're like being candles. We're like being flashlights. Like we're being like big, super powered halogen lights. Wherever we walk, we carry some of that light with us and we have that ripple effect. But when I'm here and I'm stuck in my house, it's really hard to do that. I don't have anyone to talk to. Well, I've got my 2 kids, I've got my wife, but actually that's pretty hard, right? And you guys might be the same. You might be trapped in a house with your family, and that can be pretty rubbish, right? Families are hard work.
Oh my God!
Don't turkey at me! Don't blow up!
Oh my Lord!
And you're filming? God, I'm so done! No! I'm done! I'm done! I'm done! And you, I hope you got your great Thanksgiving video! What a great family this is!
You just cause chaos, and they always mess with your stuff. Like, I don't know if you get this, but like, I like my things to be where they are. Like, my desk is like, I have my things where I need them. I've got my PlayStation controller ready to go. I've got my headset looked out, like I am sorted. But then if somebody moves it, it's a bit weird because it's like, hey, that's mine. Like, what are you doing? Maybe this is just me. Sorry guys, I've kind of went off on a tangent, but you know what I mean, right? When you're stuck in the house, it's a little bit just boring, really. It's just a bit rubbish. And actually, the last thing on your mind when you're here, just day in, day out, going through the same things, is, oh, how can I be light in the darkness? It's almost easier to do it when there's other people around, isn't it? There. But actually, what is really important is what we do in the darkness lets the light shine when we step up. Maybe I've not explained that very well. Let me show you a video. This is a guy called Michael Phelps, and he's a swimmer. Just watch this video. In fact, here you go.
It's the last goodbye, I swear. I have no regrets, for the past is behind me. Tomorrow reminds me just where. Can't quite see the end. How can I rely on my heart if I break it with my own 2 hands? I heard all you said, don't say anything. It's the last goodbye, I swear.
Smoke, see? You don't need a wizard. I am a wizard. I am the Scottish wizard. This is an in-joke for the Unite guys, I apologise. But what do you think of that video? What do you think of Lance Armstrong when he's there and he's... Lance Armstrong? That's not the guy. It's Michael Phelps. What do you think of Michael Phelps when he's there and he's having to train so hard and he's getting up in the morning and he spends all these years training and training and training for just that one moment when he's there to stand up and do something amazing? Because actually that's what's happening right now for a lot of us. Maybe not like training for the Olympics, like it's pretty hard to swim in your garden. Maybe you've got a paddling pool. I don't know. Maybe. I don't. Well, I've got a little paddling pool, but I couldn't really swim in it because I'm quite a big dude and like all the water. Anyway, you get the picture, right? But actually, what can we learn? What can we be taking in right now to make us stronger, fitter, better, more mentally capable, more physically capable? Maybe it's loads of press-ups, maybe it's some kettlebells, maybe it's reading some books. But actually we can have so much impact from the darkness. We can have so much impact in that place where it's tough. I'm just going to read something for you. Now this is taken from the Bible. It's in the book of Timothy, which actually is a letter. And it was written by a guy called Paul. And Paul, like, had this weird journey. He was a really bad guy. He was like the guy who killed Christians. And then he met Jesus and he had his life totally turned around. Kind of like me, actually. He had his life just turned upside down from where he went from being a really dark, bad person to being somebody full of light. And when he was full of light, he just wanted to exude it. Much to the point when he wrote this letter, he was actually in jail. He believed so much in Jesus that he was willing to go to jail and be locked up for years, literally years. But while he was in jail, he wrote 4 letters which are in the Bible today. And those letters have had so much impact for 2,000 years. So much so that the words that are written in these letters are relevant to us here today. Isn't that exciting? That from this place of darkness, and it was literally dark, right? Because they didn't have lights. They didn't have my super-powered LED flat panel lights. They didn't have any of that. They maybe had some candles. And he sat there and he took out a piece of paper and he wrote a letter to a young person that he cared about, someone that he had been investing in, someone that he had said, hey, you've got potential to do something way beyond. And actually he did that from a place of darkness. But I just want to read these words to you. This is 1 Timothy 4:12. In fact, let me throw that up onto the screen for you. 1 Timothy 4:12. Don't let anyone think less of you because you are young. Be an example to all believers in what you say, in the way you live, in your love, your faith and your purity. Until I get there, focus on reading the scriptures to the church, encouraging the believers and teaching them. Isn't that amazing? Aren't those words let me just take that down there. Aren't those words simply amazing? When you think about it, this is a guy who's writing to his friend and saying, hey, I know you're young, but don't let anyone think any less of you. Have you ever felt like that? Maybe when you're in the house you feel a little bit like that. That your mum and dad don't really listen to you, your parents, the carers, anyone that's around for you, they don't really listen to what you have to say because you're young. I want to hear what you have to say. God wants to hear what you have to say. Because your voice is so important. What you say affects so much. Do you know that Netflix now use so many groups that actually the stuff that granddads are watching is shaped by the stuff you watch? Because they know that young people shape the culture. They know that young people are light in the darkness. They know that that is people that have ripple effects on and on and on. Let's go further into it. It says, be an example to all believers in what you say, in the way you live, in your love, your faith and your purity. Are you doing that right now? Does that not sound like the type of thing as a member of the Boys Brigade that you should be trying to do? You should be upright and holding yourself to that way, to having a pure life. Have you had a pure life today? Did you eat any chocolate? Did you swear? Did you do something bad? Are you sure? Are you really sure? Because I mess up all the time. And I'm constantly struggling with this. I'm constantly trying to say, hey, God, I'm sorry. I messed up. I'm trying hard, man. I'm trying so hard. But it also says that we should be showing our love for the people around us. What does that look like right now? So let me give you an example. I've got some amazing neighbours. You can't see them just now. They're out that window. But I've got some amazing neighbours, and they are just so cool. Like, they just really are like really good fun. We've got 2 people on this side and 2 people on this side, and they both like speak to our kids, and we have barbecues together. It's all amazing. But actually, I need to stay 2 meters away from them right now. So what can I do to make them know that I still care? What can I do to show them the love that I have for them? And that has shaped and changed me. And because it's shaped and changed me, that affects the way that I live my life. What does being in the Boys Brigade do to you? Does it shape and change the way that you are? So that you show other people how much better your life can be? Do you take the values, the ethos, the things that you're getting from the leaders around you and turning that into positives inside to show light outside? And it's the Michael Phelps thing. As you're in this house right now, as you're in your house, because you're not in my house, that would be weird. But if you were in my house, I would be telling you the same thing. In your house, you need to be thinking about, what can I be doing right now to work on myself so that I can help other people? Because whether you choose to believe in God or not, the principles that underlie the Bible are so relevant for us today. Love God and love people. And those are things that we can do. And especially right now, as we're in the middle of this pandemic, that we need to find ways of loving people continually. There are so many people who are hurt. There's so many people who have lost loved ones. Maybe you're sitting there today and that's been your experience, and I'm so sorry that that's been your experience. But what can we even do in that situation to help other people who might be going through the same? What can we do that's going to affect the way that we live our lives to help other people? And to say, hey God, use me to help the people around us. There's an amazing song, it's called Waymaker. And I'd just love to play that for you now, just so that you guys could really let the words wash over you a little bit. Like, let me just see if I can play that here for you. I'm pretty sure I've got it on my phone somewhere. In fact, why don't I just, will I just play it for you just now? That makes more sense, yeah. Okay, here we go.
You are light in the darkness. My God, that is who you are. You are Waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness. My God, that is who you are. You are here, touching every heart. I worship you. I worship you. You are here, healing every heart. I worship you. I worship you. You are here, turning lives around. I worship you. I worship you. You are here, mending every heart. I worship you. I worship you. Oh, you are Waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness. My God, that is who you are. You are Waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness. My God, that is who you are. Oh, that is who you are. Oh, that is who you are. 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 Oh, that is who you are. That is who you are. That is who you are. Even when I don't see it, you're working. Even when I don't feel it, you're working. You never stop working. You never stop working. Even when I don't see it, you're working. Even when I don't feel it, you're working. You never stop working. You never stop working. Even when I don't see it, you're working. Even when I don't feel it, you're working. You never stop working. You never stop working. Even when I don't see it, you're working. Even when I don't feel it, you're working. You never stop working. You never stop working. Waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness. My God, that is who you are. You are Waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness. My God, that is who you are. Oh, that is who you are. And that is who you are. Oh, that is who you are. Oh, that is who you are. Oh, that is who you are. And that is who you are. That is who you are. That is who you are.
See, the words of that song really speak to me because it's about saying, God, you are here right now. even in the midst of all of this, even in the midst of all this darkness, your light is here because you're here with me. You care about me. Even if Jesus died only to save my life, he would have done that. Everyone else is just a bonus. But actually that's true for all of us, right? If you're sitting there right now and you're a Christian, you know that. You know that the truth is that God came for you. It's great that I'm there. It's great that other people are there, but he came for you. You are here, touching every heart. I worship you. I worship you. Waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness. That is who you are. Since the very start of the Bible in Genesis, we see this comparison between light and God. And wherever he is, light is. And no matter what's coming up against us, no matter how dark it all gets, no matter how difficult times are, we can push through that knowing that we've got God behind us and God in us. I'd really love to pray for you guys right now. I think it's really, really important that when we think about this stuff, that we at least create a space to let God speak to us. So I'm just going to pray for you now. And actually, if you want to, you don't have to, but if you want to put your hands out like this as though you're receiving a gift. And I'm just going to pray that God makes this stuff real to you right now. So Lord, I just ask that you come and you share with my friends right now how you feel about them. And show them ways that they can be light in the darkness in their situation. Show them how they can be shaped and changed and trained and developed to go out and change the world for you. Because although they're young, they shouldn't be looked down on. Although they're inexperienced, it doesn't mean that they haven't got time to learn. Because they are so loved by you. Amen. Dudes, thanks for listening. I really, really appreciate it. And actually, I've got no idea what's happening in the programme, so whatever it is, I'm sure it's sick. Cheers.
There is mountains will move every chain of the past. You've broken into over fear, over lies. We're seeing the truth, the nothing is impossible. Every giant will fall, the mountains will move every chain of the past. You've broken into over fear, over lies. We're seeing the truth, that nothing is impossible with you.
I didn't see any kilts, coats, and I definitely saw no rain. But what a challenge for each one of us to be light in the darkness. There can be so much dark sometimes in our families, homes, schools, college, university. But we can bring the light of Jesus out into the world. How exciting is that? You watching this evening can be an example to those around you. God can use you in such amazing ways, especially you young people. And just another word, if you're struggling in the darkness at the moment and you can't find that light, Jesus' light is here. Jesus loves you and is with you. But if you want somebody to pray for you, don't forget to email us prayer@boys-brigade.org.uk, and we would love to pray for you. I wonder, Des has a few questions that he wants us to think about as we leave this session, and you can write them down if you want to. These are the questions. What are you going to work on in the darkness? What difference can you make to those around you? And can you keep these changes up once we get back to normal? Have a think about these 3 questions and we'll reflect on them tomorrow during one of our sessions. I just want to give some final shout outs to those who've been joining us this evening, to Project B, 53rd Manchester, 2nd Denton watching on Zoom. And I think when I was very little, I went to 2nd Denton well before I became a vicar. 3rd Northampton and 5th Scarborough, 1st Alford GB, the 1st Swansea Eastside, the 200th Glasgow, 7th Plymouth, 208th Glasgow, and the 1st Mid Suffolk. I also want to just share with you a great comment from Jonathan Fleming, who wrote that today I heard about Robert Louis Stevenson, who, when looking at the street lamp lighters in Edinburgh, described them to his nanny as men who were punching holes in the darkness. Waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness. Tonight's evening activity is a challenge hour, so make sure you join Rachel and Adam back here at 7 o'clock. God bless.